Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another tactic from the always amazing GYR, and today we're with a brand new release. It is his Green Goblin tactic for FM24. This is a 4-4-2. Yes, of course, we are back playing 4-4-2, but this is with two defensive midfielders. It's not a flat line across the midfield, and in testing, this has worked an absolute treat. We tried this with Rangers up in Scotland. They won a domestic treble, beating Celtic to absolutely everything, which is brilliant to see because that's a very difficult league to win, even for Rangers. And we tested this over in Spain with Atletico Madrid. They won a domestic treble as well and were knocked out in the Champions League by PSG. And I know what you are saying. You're saying, Steve, why aren't you testing this with a team lower down? We are. This is Wildstone. Obviously, you can see on your screen right now, they have won the National League. Yes, they won the National League. They got to the quarterfinals in the FA Trophy as well, and they were knocked out by Peterborough in the second round of the FA Cup. The board expectation on this team is to avoid relegation, and if we go on the National League, you can see 102 points, absolutely blitzing the league. 31 wins for them as well, sharing the goals around the team. And if we look at the season preview, they are 50-1. They are predicted to finish down in 20th, and we've won the title with this tactic. It is very good. If I just show you the data hub super quickly for those of you who are interested, there's a lot of goals per game with this one as well. 2.83 goals per game. Okay, it does concede a decent amount, but you are very much outscoring your opponents with this. I also want to show you guys a little bit of the squad. You can kind of see here we are all set up on their training, but if we go on and have a look, you can see 19 goals for this striker, 17 goals for him, 16 for him. You can see the team is very much sharing the goals around, and it works very, very well. I do want to show you the shape a little bit just so I can show you how it looks in game and how it plays. We're going to go and take a look at this game against York. We're away. We're winning 5-0, and I just want to show you some of the highlights because I just want to pick out some of the shapes and stuff. And obviously 5-0 away from home against someone like York is very impressive. We're going to go into the game. We're going to watch some of the goals, and I just want to call out some of the shapes. So we are in the data analyst view here. Obviously, this is a throw-in that you will see. So we're throwing it into Ferguson here. He is a midfielder. He's the left side of the midfield, not left winger, but like left side of the midfield too. And he receives the ball here from the throw-in. You can see how many players we've got in the box here. So we've got the left midfielder there. The two strikers are occupying the two centre backs, and the right midfielder is pushed right up. It creates like a nice little box and gives the defence a lot to think about. This is against the back four, and it works very, very well. As you can see, the ball comes in here to the left midfielder, who's got an acre of space because he's pulled the man away, and these two centre backs here are basically occupying the same striker. So let's see what happens here, and the winger scores because he's given an abundance of space. Now we're set up again here. This is for a different attack. You can see those same wingers pushed up on both sides. One occupying here, one occupying here. Is pushing the entire defense back, and it's doing such a fantastic job with it. Ferguson again is the central midfielder, picking up the ball and running from deep. I'm going to spoil this. He's a segundo volante, which works very well in this year's game. He's got the ball and he's driving across, creating and looking for that space. The two central midfielders again on the opposition, both Dyson and this man here that I can't select, have both gone to him, giving Bowen some room to pass. Finds the left winger again. Goes back to Ferguson, who lets fly from range. Now, obviously, I wanted to show you this with Wildstone rather than an elite tier team because these are National League players that are making these movements. Here, again, we've got the ball with Mason, who is the left back in this particular tactic, and we've got Layden here alongside Ferguson. So you've got our central midfielder running from deep here alongside our winger. We've got an overload up here. Mason's easily going to find the ball down this left-hand channel, and there goes the ball into Layden, driving towards that touchline, and then it comes in for an easy tap in. And this works really well against the back fours because where the players are, and this is a very nice free kick as well for a National League setup, and then Andrew scores the tap in. But you can kind of see what we're trying to do here against that flat back four. It works really, really well. Ferguson is a very key player in this, again, as the volante, gets himself a little bit of space here, but you can kind of see here, we've got Layden pushed up. He is an inverted winger. I'll talk about and break down the formation a little bit more in a sec, but he's pushed up, basically making a 3 here, and we've got one-on-one, basically expecting our man to basically be better than the opposition. Layden finds Campbell, who rifles it home at the near post. This is 5-0, guys, away at York City. A 5-0 result away from home is absolutely crazy. I wanted to show you this one as well. This is against Dorin. 6-2 at home, 4-2 up at half-time, and this is against the back five, which I think this is probably actually really suited well to come up against, because the two strikers get in between the two centre-backs on several occasions here. The right side of the forward has dropped deep here, occupying these two central midfielders. We've got a nice overload here with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and the right back in the space on the right-hand side. The centre forward picks it up, and again, the cutback is on, but he fires it into the roof of the net on this particular instance. It works really well. The team really facilitates everything for each other. The ball comes into Campbell here, into Mason, who is the left back, driving down that left-hand side. Cross comes over, and the right-sided striker is there in between the two centre-backs again to apply the finish. As I said, I think this works really well against these five backs that are very difficult to break down. One bit of nice movement. The centre midfielder finds Campbell in the acres of space, passes it off to his teammate, and then we are set up, you guessed it, for another cutback. It works so well. I've seen this work time and time again in testing, and you'll just see the same goal scored over and over. It just works. Here we go with 𝘼𝙗𝙪 down the right hand side. Cross comes over this time. Ferguson, that is a defensive midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder as a segundo volante, scoring a header at the far post. That is exactly what he's designed to do in this tactic. He's designed to have that freedom, and he does very well with it. Could you imagine how this would work with some of the other big teams? Yeah, okay, we conceded a goal there, but at this point, we're winning quite comfortably. Let's go and check out some of the other ones. We've got some corners coming in here as well. Over to the far post. It gets cleared, and our centre forward here is picking up the ball, and he's got a lot of work to do here, but he drives down the left-hand side and goes for it himself, comes back off the woodwork. 𝘼𝙗𝙪, and we just recycle it basically, guys. 𝘼𝙗𝙪 in, and fires into the far corner. And then the final one of this one, it comes off of another set piece, this time in. Goalkeeper claims, and then you can see here, this is where we press. So the goalkeeper's got the ball in his hands. We've got centre forward here, we've got centre forward here, and then here we've got the two central midfielders occupying these spaces. There's one winger, and where's the other one? Where is he? Where's our man Clayton? But you can kind of see how we're getting the press on here. We're really trying to stop and stifle the goalkeeper's options, which we do. We remove him being able to go to the wide options because of where our strikers are stood. And we've also got the press on here. 𝘼𝙗𝙪 is occupying this fullback. We've got two bodies over here to cover this fullback if he goes in that direction. So let's see what he does. We put the pressure on. He goes long. One of our centre-backs picks it up easily into central midfield, and then we shift through the gears into Ferguson, out to the left-hand side, back to the left wing-back, or left-back, sorry, and then he's able to drive down the left-hand side. Cross comes over. Campbell doesn't get there. We head it back across, and it's back in with the goalkeeper. Again, this is where we put the pressure on. You can see we're pressing super high up the field. We've got lots of their passing options covered from their goalkeeper, and now we get to see what he does with it. And he's taking his time. Hoofs it long again. Aimless. We win the ball. We turn it back over into Ferguson. Long ball. Breaks the defence. Campbell's there. Keeper rushes out. And we score the goal. You can see it works really well, guys. So we're going to go in and break this one down. And this is the tactic. This is GYR's Green Goblin. I'm going to just quick pick without restriction the best 11, so you can kind of see the players that we've got and where the goals are coming from in this team, because they are basically shared all around the team. We're not going to go through the team too much, but there's some interesting roles in here that you may like, and we're going to go through and break this down now, but we wouldn't be able to do this without GYR. His links are down in that description. So in goal, we have a sweeper keeper on defensive duty with tackle harder. The additional instruction on this one is the tackle harder, guys. Go into the edit menu, and then you see tackle harder is selected right there. Moving into the fullbacks, they are both wing backs on support duty with the additional instruction of run wide with the ball and stay wider and tackle harder. They are basically predominantly there to give the width to your team to allow the two wingers in front of them to push up the field effectively. Then we have two ball playing defenders on defensive duty with the additional instructions of dribble more and tackle harder. The dribble more is basically to encourage them to bring the ball out from the back so that you can start the base of your attacks. Now we have the two defensive midfielders. Now the more defensive one of the two is the ball winning midfielder on support duty. His job is to win the ball. And then alongside him is the segundo volante, who is a support function and is basically allowed to bomb up the field and basically create a 5-man attack. He has the additional instruction of tackle harder. Now the two wide players are on slightly different instructions. On the right hand side we have a winger on attack. The idea of this man is to basically stay wide and kind of just get up the line. He's got the instructions that come with him: cross from the byline, get further forward, stay wider. That is exactly what he's decided to do in this tactic. The idea is that he occupies this space here, keeps that fullback busy, whereas on the other side we have an inverted winger on attack duty to tackle harder. This is where he drifts into this area and creates these overloads in key areas. On the right hand side we have a complete forward up front on attack duty, nothing additional on him, and as you can see, it doesn't really matter about the star ratings, guys, because he's got a low rating. Does our man Campbell here, he scored 19 goals. He was our top goal scorer. Does not matter. Then on the left hand side we have an advanced forward on attack duty with the additional instruction of tackle harder. Now the mentality is an attacking mentality, and guys, I say this every video, the custom tactical style does not matter. You can pick any one of these you like. It really doesn't matter. As long as you follow these instructions coming up now, you will have the same tactic that we have in game right here. In possession, this is how we are set up: a fairly wide attacking width, passing into space with shorter passing directness and a higher tempo that is cranked up to the max. Low crosses into the final third. You saw lots of those low crosses that are just tapped in between defenders and stuff like that. Low crosses into the final third, and we are running at the defense in terms of our dribbling style. In transition, this is how we are set up: counter pressing when possession has been lost. We are countering when possession has been won, and our distribution type is to roll it out. We are staying in possession with this tactic. We are staying in possession, we're keeping the ball, and we're starting really well. We're not hoofing the ball long like that Dorking goalkeeper was doing. And then out of possession, guys, this is how we are set up: a high press with that line of engagement. We really saw that with our highlight clips, and then the standard defensive line. We are triggering that press much more often and preventing that short goalkeeper distribution. Now, I will say we did get close on some set pieces, so make sure you check out this video on set pieces to really show you what G does on his. I hope you enjoyed the video.